Hello, my name is Kaya, and I will be presenting my professional poster today. Um, for my introduction, I'm going to talk a little bit about my assignment, what this project was about, and I was challenged to find a social issue that I found to be important, and for me, it was the overpopulated animal shelters. And unfortunately, that is due to the breeding industry. In my introduction, I talk about how the main cause of this being is that as a society, we've normalized the breeding industry, and more people are shopping for pets rather than adopting pets that are already there. So on this side, I have the address of where I volunteered, and that was the Animal Foundation. And then during my time at the shelter, I learned very quickly that shelters do what they can to get by. It's not necessarily a luxury there. A lot of it is a struggle. So because of this, I chose this shelter in particular because earlier this year in 2022, I actually adopted my dog from the Animal Foundation. And while I was there, I did notice the struggles and understaffing and the challenges that was very prevalent to the public. So I wanted to do what I could, and when this project was introduced, when we were challenged to find a social issue to contribute to, this was the first thing that entered my mind. So I wanted to see if I could help find a solution. So the Animal Foundation's logo, their mission statement, our mission statement is to save lives of all healthy and treatable animals in the Las Vegas Valley. A nonprofit organization, the Animal Foundation of Las Vegas, founded in 1978 as a low-cost spay and neuter clinic, is one of the highest volume single-site animal shelters in America. So the Animal Foundation works very closely with the Las Vegas and animal control, so all strays or abandoned animals are going to end up at the Animal Foundation in Las Vegas because unfortunately no-kill shelters do not accept them. So over here I have my method, so that would be how I did my service work this semester and what I researched. So what exactly did I research? I wanted to learn more about the relationship between the breeding industry and the population of animals within animal shelters. Why are shelters so overpopulated, and how do we decrease the number of strays and abandoned animals? And then my volunteer tasks. I was a guide to potential adopters to adoptable animals. I gave tours of the facility. I took dogs on walks, and I tidied up kennels and picked up miscellaneous toys and blankets. And then lastly, I was responsible for ensuring that the playpens were secured when adopters would take their animals out into this playpen area, and I would just ensure that they were closed so the animals couldn't get out and interfere with other walking dogs. Findings down here. Here I have some of the most effective articles that I found, and I kind of sectioned it into 3 different sections. So the local article, national article, and the global article, these are all going to be related to this topic, just in different realms of the world. So local article talks about how the overpopulation of animal shelters rapidly leads to disease outbreaks within the shelters, and because they're so closely connected within the animal shelters, it spreads so fast, and it's very hard for understaffed, especially understaffed shelters to get on top of the disease. National article. This kind of touches base on the biggest reason for overpopulation of animal shelters, the biggest one being because people don't get their dogs neutered or spayed. Although, some people, at first glance, they think like that is the wrong thing to do, but realistically, it saves more unwanted litters from being, produced into the world if it's not intentional. Then these litters have nowhere to go and ultimately end up at the Animal Foundation or another shelter. And that would decrease the population of unwanted animals. the global article. So this talks a lot about how people got puppies, or mostly puppies, but can apply to other pets during the lockdown of COVID, and a lot of these puppies were never socialized, and this led them to behavioral issues. So yeah, that's a big reason of why animals end up in the situation that they are in, because they develop those triggers from not being properly introduced into the world. And then we see it too when they progress, or when they regress, when they get into the shelter, because they're not getting that human contact, then they turn into animals that are scared of humans, and that ultimately doesn't get them adopted. And that results in the use of euthanization. And over here, I just have some of my themes. I have a media bias segment, which I don't really think that I came across a bunch of media bias in this situation. It is a very progressive topic, so take that with a grain of salt, but everything I found was very factual. And then my conclusion just restates everything I just told you guys. And then my citations down here. So that is all. Thank you.